Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to MiM Monday. I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and this is Mickey in Minutes Live. And it's time to make Monday magical. Thanks so much to everybody who's joining me live in the chat. Let's make this a conversation. If you're new to the show, this is the Disney news show where we talk about the latest Disney news and let's make it a conversation. If you're watching this as a playback or listening to this after the fact on YouTube or Reels or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then thanks so much for tuning in. And be sure to leave your comments and your thoughts down in the comments area wherever you're listening. And remember that you can join live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time here on Instagram. We got a bunch of people already joining in the chat. What's going on? Tim in the chat says, love the sweater. Thanks so much. We are going to talk about this very sweater today. It's a very special sweater. Happiest Disney Mom. What's going on? Thanks so much for joining. And everybody else who's hanging out. Thanks so much. So, today, actually, if you're a Star Wars fan, is a special day. So happy Life Day, if you're a Star Wars fan. If you don't know, that's the kind of Christmassy holiday in the Star Wars universe, dating all the way back to the Star Wars Christmas special, where the Wookiees are going back to their home planet of Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day. So, yep, happy Life Day, everybody. We got a lot of Christmas stuff to talk about. 'Tis the season. I know we have Thanksgiving coming up, but, Thanksgiving is the appetizer to Christmas. So let's talk about Christmas. So the first thing I actually want to talk about is something that I've been really stoked about for a long time since I heard about it, and that is a new Christmas movie that just came out, and that is a very Jonas Christmas movie. So I think I've made it abundantly clear on Mickey in Minutes that I'm a huge Jonas Brothers fan. I have been for the last 20 years. But they just released their Christmas movie. It came out on Friday, November 14th, and it's called A Very Jonas Christmas. And I just want to talk about how much I really, really liked that movie. We saw it on Saturday. And the reason I'm bringing it up on MiM Monday is because it absolutely has to do with Disney. Not only was it released on Disney Plus and Hulu, but if you know anything about Jonas Brothers, you know that they have a long history with Disney that wasn't always a pleasant one, honestly. Really quick, Jonas Brothers, they kind of got their start as a Disney Channel band, right? They were in Camp Rock. They had their own TV show on Disney Channel, Jonas, and then Jonas LA, and they released a couple of albums, and they were always really awesome. I always liked them and saw them in concert a few times, and then they broke up, and they kind of distanced themselves from Disney, and then they got back together. They got back together, and it was like 2019. And they were still kind of distancing themselves from Disney. But I feel like this year has been this like great big like return to Disney for the Jonas Brothers, and it's been awesome to watch. They released the theme song for the Disneyland 70th anniversary, Celebrate Happy, and that felt like a really great like homecoming for Jonas Brothers. But then they announced a very Jonas Christmas movie soon after that. And it was just, so much excitement for Jonas Brothers fans. And the movie came out, and I just got to say, it was really fun. Obviously, it starred the Jonas Brothers, Kevin, Joe, and Nick, or maybe not Kevin, maybe Paul, if you know, you know. But then a bunch of really cool guest stars, including Chloe Bennett. If you don't know who that is, she's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? She was Sky, a.k.a. Daisy Quake Johnson. So that was really cool. And then, of course, Jesse Tyler Ferguson played Santa Claus, who's Mitch on Modern Family. And KJ Apa was in it, the guy from Riverdale. It was a fun movie. They had some really great songs, great Christmas songs. And what I liked about it was it felt like a very like meta commentary on the Jonas Brothers careers. Yes, in the chat, Meg says Kenny G. Yes, Kenny G was a great guest star in that. So good. And Will Ferrell was a guest star. I'm not going to spoil too much of the movie, but yeah, it felt like a commentary on the band and very meta. They talked about a lot of things that as Jonas Brothers fans, you kind of know about, like their history and stuff about them. It was really great, and no spoilers. But if you're a Kevin fan, you're gonna love the end of this movie. So yeah, very Jonas Christmas movie. It was cheesy, it was campy. Yeah, no pun intended. Camp Rock. But it was fun. It was a great Christmas movie. It just gave you all the Christmas vibes, all the Christmas feels. So honestly, yes, I totally recommend. Great songs, funny movie, very Jonas Christmas. So check that out on Disney Plus or Hulu, especially if you're a Jonas Brothers fan. Now, this sweater, I got to talk about this sweater. So if you're a fan of Epcot, then you probably know what this is. This is Figment's Christmas sweater. So several years ago, they started putting Figment in the ride and Journey into Imagination in this little sweater. He typically wears that like yellow sweater, and they started putting him in this exact sweater during the holiday season a few years ago. And this sweater, it has the original icon. This circle right here in the middle is the original icon for the Imagination Pavilion. And then, let me say that for a second. Down here, it has that's the building, the Imagination Pavilion building. And hey, what's going on, Tony? Thanks for joining. And so this sweater just became iconic enough that they started selling it. Last year at Festival of the Holidays, they started selling this sweater. And, obviously I'm wearing it, so yeah, I got it. This was my one of my Christmas gifts from Chelsea last year, and I just so stoked on it. And so I had to wear it because it pertains to Festival of the Holidays again this year. Let's see. Oh, in the chat, Tony says, I'm hyped for the holiday season, and I do miss Epcot's Dreamfinder. Yes, going old school with Figment there. I love Dreamfinder. Guys, if they could find a way to bring Dreamfinder back to the Imagination Pavilion, I'll be so happy. But anyway, so this sweater is just iconic. And what I love is that the artwork for Festival of the Holidays, which, by the way, is the Epcot Festival during the holiday season. It runs from November 28th through December 30th. The merch and the artwork for this Festival of the Holidays is all about this sweater. So the official logo for Festival of the Holidays has Figment and Minnie and Mickey wearing this iconic sweater, and it's just so cute. And so much of the merch for this year, at least that I've seen online, features this sweater. So they have a pair of mini ears that have this pattern, and it says Epcot on it, and on the ears, and then it has a white bow, and it's so cute. And then they have, of course, a purse, I don't know what brand this is. I don't know anything about purses, but this purse with Figment on it, and Figment is wearing the iconic sweater, and he's in front of a circular kind of Spaceship Earth inspired pattern, but it's like gold and white. And then, of course, they have the ornament this year, which I know my wife is already going nuts for, and that's the Festival of the Holidays ornament with an excited Figment wearing, you guessed it, this amazing sweater. So I had to wear the sweater for this MiM Monday because it's just popping up everywhere. Of course, unfortunately, I won't be attending Festival of the Holidays this year, but I'm attending in spirit, right, by wearing my Figment Christmas sweater. So that's just so exciting about that merch. I know my wife is going to order the ornament. She'll find it on eBay. And because, this house, we love Figment, We love this little guy. There he is, as a Pez dispenser. But anyways, so a lot of other news for Festival of the Holidays. Of course, every country in the World Showcase has their unique storytellers. So they have it's really cool what they do. They have different people around the World Showcase telling the Christmas story or Christmas traditions from their country. So Mexico Pavilion talks about Las Posadas, Norway Pavilion, a mischievous, magical barn Santa. The China Pavilion has the Chinese lion dancer. The Italy Pavilion has La Befana. The Japanese Pavilion has Dharma Storyteller. I'm sorry if I'm saying these wrong. Between the Morocco and the France Pavilion, they have the Hanukkah Storytellers. And in the France Pavilion, Pierre Noel, United Kingdom, Father Christmas, and Canada, Canadian Holiday Voyagers. And that's just so cool. So I've been to Festival of Holidays before. I didn't really get a lot of time when I was there to enjoy all these. But if you have time, go check these out. If you don't know, I'm a teacher. I teach elementary school. And one of my favorite things is during the holiday season to teach about some of these different traditions. Like I've taught about Las Posadas and La Befana before, and it's just so interesting. And I feel like, kids enjoy learning about that. And what a better way to learn about that than walking around the World Showcase. So just super, super cool. Let's check in on the chat. Tony says that the sweater is something he would wear. Yeah, you should get it. You should get it, Tony. And he also says that he completely missed the World Showcase last time you visited during Festival of the Holidays. So yeah, Epcot is such a huge park and there's so much going on. Next time you get down there, Tony, you got to go through the World Showcase. They have some really great stuff as well as food booths. So the dates again are November 28th. It hasn't started yet. November 28th to December 30th. So maybe you should book that last minute trip and get down to Epcot Festival of the Holidays. So of course we talked about on previous MiM Mondays, Candlelight Processional, where they have celebrity narrators and a beautiful choir and orchestra performing and narrating the Christmas story. Of course, the story of Jesus. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing that was started by Walt Disney, actually, over in Disneyland. And it's really cool that they've carried on this tradition and into Epcot. And it's just one of the most popular things at Epcot. I remember I saw Neil Patrick Harris deliver the narration once, and it was just so, so cool. Couple other things. They have a concert series, Feel the Rhythm of Joyful, a celebration of the season. That's what it says on Disney Parks blog. So it's a concert series that celebrates the spirit of Christmas and Kwanzaa, featuring the musical stylings of gospel, jazz, and R&B groups. So that's so cool. Well, actually, it looks like it's one group, a group called Divine Voices. So they mix a style of gospel, jazz, and R&B. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, just tons of food. But, besides seeing Figment in his Christmas sweater, the other thing that I recommend you do if you are in Epcot during Festival of the Holidays is the Shimmering Greenhouse. So that is over in the in Living with the Land. They put Christmas lights on everything in the greenhouse. And if you ride it at night, it's all glowing and it's beautiful. I love it. I'm, of course, a huge Living with the Land fan anyways. So seeing it lit up for Christmas, yes, please. And they also do the holiday cookie stroll, which is so, so cool. You go around, you get several different cookies, and you get it stamped. Each cookie that you get, part of the cookie stroll, you get it stamped in your festival passport. And at the end, you redeem a special surprise at Holiday Sweets and Treats. So, yeah, super fun. So, so cool. Of course, you can meet Santa. He's going to be over in Communicore Hall this year, which is really cool. And then also in Communicore Hall, which I think is awesome, and I just want to see this in person, and that is the Spaceship Earth gingerbread house, I guess. Giant gingerbread cookie. I don't know how you describe it. It's literally Spaceship Earth made out of gingerbread. So all of like the the shapes on the side of the geodesic sphere that is Spaceship Earth are recreated using gingerbread. Uh, it's so cool. And then not only that, but it lights up. So this is presented by Citizen, that watch company, and every 15 minutes it does a light show, like kind of like the real Spaceship Earth has all the beacons of light in it, and I think that's what they're still called. I think no, they've gone through a couple changes, beacons of light or beacons of magic or whatever they're called, but they light up in real life and they light up on the cookie. So just so cool, so cool. So yeah, Festival of the Holidays starts pretty soon, and I just think it's awesome. So I mean, speaking of Disney World holidays, you can't go to Disney World and celebrate the holidays without talking about Disney Springs. And yeah, Disney Springs is their holidays are in full swing, I believe. So basically, the coolest thing they do at Disney Springs for the holidays is the Christmas tree stroll, and it's just it's so cool. So they have a ton of Christmas trees, all themed to like different IP, I guess you would say IP, different different Disney IP. And you get like a map, and as you go around and see each Christmas tree, you put a sticker on the map where they're located, and then at the end, if you did it right, I guess you get a completer button, which I have somewhere around here. I should have had it out. Got it last year. And it's just so cool. They have some really great trees. Some of them even interact with your Magic Band, and it's just so cool. So this year, some of the trees are themed around Coco, Moana, Princess and the Frog, and others. I remember last year they had a really cool Guardians of the Galaxy one, and just so much awesome. So much awesome. And then, of course, coming back is Jock Lindsay's Holiday Bar, which is one of my absolute favorite things ever. Jock Lindsay's is the Indiana Jones themed bar over at Disney Springs, and they do a really cool holiday overlay. I know one of the things on the menu this year is like Thanksgiving egg rolls. It has like turkey and stuffing, and you dip it in cranberry sauce, and I just read that description and my mouth watered. It sounds so good. So good. So yeah, there's so much to do during the holidays at Walt Disney World. And I just wish I was going back. I mean, last week I talked all about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights. And there's just so much cool stuff to talk about. Speaking of Hollywood Studios, Jollywood Nights, something really cool that they did, really small, most people probably wouldn't notice, but very cool. Some old props from the Great Movie Ride, one of my favorite attractions of all time, one of the most heartbreaking closures of all time. Some props from that have made it into a window display at Hollywood Studios. So over in the window of Keystone Clothiers, the window that says "Tailor to the Stars," they got 3 of the old like mannequin dancers from a Footlight Parade. That first scene where they're like the dancers are like in the birthday cake kind of thing, and it's just so cool. So they've cleaned them up. They put them in like holiday outfits. They got like Santa hats on them. But what's funny is like if you look at them, you can still see like their swimming caps because they're swimmers from a Footlight Parade. And yeah, so in the chat, Meg says, "I saw that." Yes, it's so cool, right? Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Couple people more entering the chat. So it's just so great to see. I mean, this doesn't make up for getting rid of the Great Movie Ride, but it's great to see some of these figures back out, and for people to enjoy at Hollywood Studios. And some people walk by and never know what they are. I think they're just mannequins in the store window. But if you know, you know. These are from a Footlight Parade. Man, I miss Great Movie Ride. I like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. It's no Great Movie Ride, but a few years ago, we did an episode on Mickey and Minutes that was what we would do to update the Great Movie Ride with like modern Disney films to kind of keep it alive. And we imagined like, Great Movie Ride sponsored by Disney Plus, like what that would be like. And I just wish they would have done something like that and put Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over in like Animation Courtyard or something. But, you know, what are you going to do? Can't do anything about it now. Let's see in the chat. I love it when Disney does that, brings in the nostalgia. Yes, absolutely. Such nostalgia. So I can't wait to get back in the parks and it's so silly, but like visit these characters from A Footlight Parade. Hey, what's going on, Breed Love? Thanks so much for joining. We're talking about the Great Movie Ride mannequins from A Footlight Parade in Hollywood Studios. What do you think of that? That's so cool. I got to get over there and see those in person because so amazing. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys think of these props from Great Movie Ride making their way back into the parks. I know I definitely want to see more Great Movie Ride stuff and other, retired attractions, things from those retired attractions making their way back into the parks. So the next story I want to talk about today is a pretty cool one. If you fly Southwest to Disney, and living in Texas, I fly Southwest every single time I go to Disney, and it's just it's where I fly. Oh, let's see in the chat. I was so excited to see them close up for the first time. That's a good point. When you're riding by in the ride vehicles, you go by them really quickly and you're not that close up, but being able to walk up to them, I mean, they're behind glass, but still to be able to go up to them and see them, and that's just so cool. I got to get back to Hollywood Studios and check those out. But Southwest is doing this really cool program where you can check your bags and have them delivered to your Disney Resort hotel from the airport. You don't even have to take them with you. You can check them in, and then they'll magically arrive at your resort. And that's just such a cool thing that they're working on. And it's the pilot luggage transfer service. So I hope that this works out and just continues to expand, because it kind of reminds me, it's giving Magical Express vibes, and I really did miss Magical Express, although it's way quicker to hop an Uber from the airport. But there was just something so special about Magical Express. But starting November 18th, if you're flying domestically Southwest into Orlando International Airport, that is MCO, and staying at select Disney Resort hotels, you can bypass the baggage claim. So it's not every hotel, but it's a start. I'm pretty sure like Pop Century is one of the ones that they're doing it with, and it's just such a cool program. Anything that Disney can do to make your travel experience a little bit more convenient, I'm all for that, because that's the magic begins when you start traveling, even before you get to the resort. So very cool. Let's switch over to Disneyland really quick. Storybook Land canal boats have reopened with that Rapunzel scene, and man, it looks beautiful. I got to get down there and see it in person. I think I may stop over in Disneyland for a couple days this summer, not just to see this, but this is a big part of it, because I love Storybook Land canal boats and I love Rapunzel. So the new Tangled scene has opened at Storybook Land canal boats, and it looks great. They have two different music cues if you ride by during the day versus during the night. And it's so cute. They have like the little wanted posters of Flynn Rider. They just can't get his nose right. The tower looks great. It looks nice and big. During the daytime, you hear "When Will My Life Begin?" and at night you hear "I See the Light." And man, I just feel like, I know a lot of people were kind of downplaying this story, being like, oh, well, Disneyland deserves a full ride of Rapunzel, this and that. But I don't think these people understand the beauty of Storybook Land Canal Boats and kind of the honor of having a movie featured at Storybook Land Canal Boats, because really, honestly, only the best of the best kind of get featured there, and it's definitely a place of honor in Disneyland to have a film featured there. So it's not something to be downplayed. Now, do I hope for that Tokyo Rapunzel ride to make its way to Disneyland or Disney World? Of course I do. Or, maybe something even better. But for now, it's just really, really nice to see Rapunzel getting some love in an attraction here in the United States. Let me know in the chat, what do you guys think of the Storybook Land Canal Boats edition of Tangled? I think it's really great. So, yeah, I think it's awesome. But moving on to the next story here. We have some movies coming out that I think we got to talk about. So they dropped the Moana live action trailer and the Toy Story 5 trailer. One I'm stoked about, one I'm unsure about. Can you guess which is which? So the Moana trailer. I think it's interesting that they're doing a live action remake of Moana so soon. I mean, it feels so soon since the original one. Let's see. Oh, in the chat, Tango is still my favorite Disney movie. Yeah, Tim, I agree. It's one of the best. But Moana live action. So this trailer, they dropped the teaser trailer, and it looks shot for shot, like shot for shot from the animated feature. Everything that they showed in the trailer, there's an exact shot of it in the animated feature. And it just, I don't think it's necessary. So, I mean, it looks nice. It's nice having The Rock in it, but it just feels too soon, right? In the chat, I see too soon. Yep. Exactly. It feels too soon. It looks nice. It looks pretty, but it feels too soon. Now, the Toy Story trailer, it's never a bad time for a Toy Story movie. Is this franchise getting played out? Maybe. Are people getting tired of it? It doesn't seem like it. I feel like Toy Story is one of those franchises that they can just keep churning out movies so long as they have stories to tell, and they can just go on forever. And I don't think anyone's gonna have a problem with it until they start making legitimately bad movies, which honestly they haven't. Will they have the chicken from Toy Story 2? I don't think so. Didn't he go to jail or something in that movie? But the trailer looks cute. So it's about the Toy Story characters encountering an iPad, basically, and the technology versus actual toys, and it's just so it's such a cute plot, and I wonder how they're gonna do it. The one thing that kind of gets me curious about this is Woody. How is Woody back? I'm sure. All right, I'm sure they're gonna explain it in the movie. I'm sure they're gonna have some exposition or flashbacks or something showing how Woody gets back. Or maybe this takes place. Well, I don't know. It can't take place before Toy Story 4 because we have Forky in this, right? He's in the trailer, so I don't know. They have to have some explanation as to how Woody is back. But we got Tim Allen, we got Tom Hanks, we got Joan Cusack, all these original voice casts back, and Conan O'Brien is gonna be a voice character in here. Isn't a voice character in here? The toilet training tool, tech tool called Smarty Pants. So I'm excited to hear Conan O'Brien voice in a Disney movie. That's gonna be really fun. So, yeah. If you guessed that I'm excited for Toy Story and unsure about about Moana, you guessed right. So, yeah. we got a couple other stories to talk about here. One really small one that I think is just crazy, and that is a surprise release of a popcorn bucket. Usually Disney likes to promote their popcorn buckets and build hype for it, but they just surprised everybody and released a Scar from the Lion King popcorn bucket kind of out of nowhere, as well as an Ed the Hyena sipper. And they didn't announce it. It was just one day. It was just appeared in the park. It's $25 over at Animal Kingdom for the Scar popcorn bucket, and it looks really cool. The strap has like Scar and the hyenas on it, and it says Animal Kingdom. The hyena sipper is $18.29, and it's just very cute, very cool. So, it's always cool, I think, when Disney surprises us, because sometimes I feel like Disney announces stuff so soon in advance that the hype is gone by the time things happen, or people get frustrated for waiting so long by the time things happen. But I feel like, when they surprise us, it doesn't happen very often, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's super exciting. Hey, a couple more people joined in the chat. What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for hanging out. This is MiM Monday. We're talking about the latest Disney news. So these Lion King popcorn bucket and sipper, very cool, super random, but very, very cool. It was announced also that New Year's fireworks are returning to Hollywood Studios this year, which is awesome because, it takes some of the pressure off Epcot and Magic Kingdom. And yeah, December 31st, 11:57, how precise, they're starting a special fireworks show to count down and ring in the new year at Hollywood Studios. I love Hollywood Studios fireworks. I think it's so fun whenever they do stuff like that. I like Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, the fireworks show at Jollywood Nights. I used to love the Star Wars fireworks and stuff. So I just think it's really cool that they're doing this. So fireworks returned last year to Hollywood Studios. Before that, it had been several years, and it's going to have a projection show and lasers and all of it. So you get to take your pick where you want to count down the New Year's, if you want to do it at Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, or Epcot. If I'm being honest, I would probably pick Hollywood Studios. Honestly, I feel like Epcot is just overly crowded. I feel like Magic Kingdom, same. I feel like Hollywood Studios is going to be that kind of Goldilocks just right kind of feel, Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people will just pack in the Hollywood Studios also. But I'll tell you one thing I don't like about New Year's Eve parties at the parks, and that's when they do like dance parties with contemporary music. That just bugs me. It takes me out of it. I don't like hearing contemporary music over at the in the parks. I feel like all the music always should be thematic, in theme, or in universe when possible. Now, fireworks shows in particular are different, but they don't usually play contemporary music unless it's like Christmas or something. Usually just play like Disney music or music, from different movies. So I don't know. It bugs me hearing contemporary music. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys like the dance parties with contemporary music in the parks, or does that bug you too? Is that just me? I don't know. But it's cool that these fireworks are returning to Hollywood Studios. So yeah, I think that's just about it. And that's really all the things I wanted to talk about on this MiM Monday. And it's been really fun, guys. This has been awesome. Oh, there is one more thing I did want to talk about in my notes, and that is the Disney Parks Holiday Special that is on Christmas Day. They announced the whole lineup for this. I know some of them have even started filming already. They started filming some of these performances already, but so I don't know. All right, I'll be honest with you. Most of the names on this list of performers, I have no idea who they are. I just don't know. But let's see if you know. Let's play a little game called Have You Ever Heard of This Singer Before? So, Aloe Black, uh, they're going to be performing, or he's going to be performing in Toy Story Land, singing This Christmas. Don't know who that is. This one I know. Good Charlotte. I mean, I'm a millennial pop punk kid, so of course I know Good Charlotte. But they're going to be performing in Galaxy's Edge, a song called Fairy Tale of New York. Down the chat, Meg says, I saw it being filmed one year. Yeah, that's right. You were in the parks and you saw somebody filming. That's cool. You told me that. That's awesome. Let's see. Who else? So Mariah the Scientist is going to be singing Santa Baby in Pandora World of Avatar. I don't know who that is. Never heard of that person. Nicole Scherzinger is going to be in front of Small World in Disneyland singing Oh Holy Night. No idea who that is. Trisha Yearwood will be in World Celebration Gardens singing My Favorite Things. Don't know that person. Down in the chat, Tim is agreeing with me. Don't know any of these people. BB Rexa, I kind of know who that is. She's going to be singing Rocking Around the Christmas Tree in front of Cinderella Castle. The only reason I know who BB Rexa is because she, unless I'm mistaken, she did a side project with Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy called Black Cards a long time ago, like back when Fall Out Boy was on hiatus for a while. I'm pretty sure that's who that was. So, yeah. But other than that, I don't know anything that she sings. And the last one, American Idol winner Iam Tongi will be singing in Alani. He'll be singing Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride, which that's not a Christmas song. So that's interesting. It's, it fits well with Alani, but not a Christmas song. So anyways, those are the performers. So tune in. Let's see. Meg says she's one of the Pussycat Dolls, that Nicole person. So yeah, okay. Nicole Scherzinger is a Pussycat Doll. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. I didn't know that. So there we go. I probably won't tune into this because I don't know any of these people. But I know the song. Yeah, Tim says I know the songs. So anyways, but it's always nice to have some Disney Christmas, on in the background while you're opening presents. So yeah, we'll end on that. We'll end on that. This has been a very Christmas-filled episode, from Figment to the Jonas Brothers to everything in between. This has been really, really great. Meg in the chat says, why not sing Mele Kalikimaka? Yeah, that is a Hawaiian Christmas song. That's a good point. Why are they singing Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride instead of a Hawaiian Christmas song? I don't know. Very weird. But anyways, this has been so fun, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out for this MiM Monday. This has been a lot of fun. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever it is that you're tuning in from, whether it's YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you've been in the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out, and this has been a blast. And please do me a favor, tell your fellow Disney friends about it. Let's pack the chat. Let's get everyone in here. Because I just love having people to talk Disney with. So this has been really great. Let's see down in the chat. I'm surprised Disney doesn't go hard for Thanksgiving. Yeah, they don't really do much for Thanksgiving. Great show. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for hanging out, you guys. You've really helped to make Monday magical. And I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody?